What is up, Retrievers? Welcome back to another video, and I'm Justin again. You've probably seen me a few times by now, and we're just going to review just this past year of Careers Unleashed. We've gone over so many different topics. We've gone over things like tips from a hiring manager, debunking your major being related to your career, research, nervousness, learning from your past, how to talk to your advisor, going after your passions, resume building projects, resume reviews, gap years, opportunities through faculty, the job market, communication skills, and grad school. Follow us at UMBC Careers on Instagram, and then also make sure to hit that subscribe button down there. Also hit the like button and comment any questions. We'll be sure to answer them. So stay tuned. This is just a little recap, and make sure to watch the full videos.
Yeah, so I tell students and just anyone, whenever you are going through your various rounds of interviews, be mindful of who you're speaking with.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So oftentimes for a recruiter, we're looking for, sometimes we get like a candidate profile,
Okay,
right? So the
okay.
hiring manager will tell us high level, these are like the top 4 or 5 things that we're looking for.
Okay.
You know, they need to be able to work, proficient in Excel or VLOOKUP, whatever their criteria is. So we're probably trying to look for that within your resume. In the actual interview, we're looking to see how coachable and adaptable you are. And if you have values that align with the company and the team that you're going into, right? So we're kind of like the first layer of like how well are you able to kind of fit within the company as a whole, and then specifically the team.
Yes.
Once you meet with the hiring manager, that's when they're looking for more like technical expertise. So they'll get down to like the day-to-days and like these are the projects that you need to align yourself with. If you're going into third rounds, you're probably meeting with like team members, people who are also on the team, and they're looking to see how well you can communicate, how much of a team player you are. So there's like layers. We're not just, giving you 3 rounds of interviews or 2 rounds of interviews just for fun.
Right.
Like there's a technique, if you will, and how we're assessing you.
Myth or fact. And we're going to do the first one. And so the first one is a really good one, I think. You need to choose a major that aligns directly to career for job security. Is that a myth or a fact?
My take, I guess this is just a bunch of hot takes.
So, yes.
A hot take on this particular one is that I think it's a myth because I guess my story is I studied finance for my undergraduate degree. My graduate degree was in like organizational leadership, so still kind of in the business realm, but more like leadership driven, and I like those classes a lot. But am I working in finance today? No. And I realized I wasn't going to go that track or like be an analyst or be in wealth management or anything pretty like before I graduated. Like I knew, but I stuck with that major and it gave me really great foundational skills. Like I do not regret it at all, even if I really don't use half the things that I've learned in that degree program. I mean, the other half I do. So right. I found it super beneficial regardless of going into like a specific career field related to finance. So I would say myth.
I guess what pushed you towards research, or more specifically, why, or because it seems like you really are interested into research. So what is maybe the catching thing that pulled you into wanting to do research more than back end or front end coding, things like that?
You kind of choose what you want to do when it comes to research. You have your general interests, and then it's up to you what you want to do in that interest. And there's something for everybody, and I found the stuff for me. So yeah, I just like the freedom of it. It's not like software engineer, cybersecurity engineer. It's kind of like you choose a project and you get to
I like that.
go deep with it.
Definitely. I feel like sometimes school needs a little bit more research. You need to just let us be free. Let's just pick something that we're actually interested in. It's like, obviously, you have classes where it's like, do like a research paper or like study this and then talk about it. But like sometimes it's a topic that we don't really like.
Yeah.
So I feel like definitely once you have something that, like you said, like you're just free to pick whatever, you'll enjoy your job. And as long as you enjoy your job, personally, I think that's the best.
Yeah.
What's a fond memory that you had with your instrument?
I would say I mean, I've had a lot of performances here at UMBC that I've been really proud of, but A funny story, kind of my first taste of that was when I was in 3rd grade.
Mhm.
I performed at my school's strings recital,
Mhm.
or yeah, strings concert, and it was supposed to be like the whole school's concert. So all the students play all together, but for some reason my teacher was like, "Do you want to play a solo piece?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I got on stage and I was shaking. My bow was shaking, my legs were shaking. I felt awful. I wanted to throw up. And I played the piece and I had a huge memory slip, and I was so ashamed afterwards. But then I remember like so many parents and friends coming up to me afterwards and being like, "That was amazing. Like that was so cool that you went up there and did that." And I guess that's kind of what performance is you put yourself out there, you're very vulnerable, and you share something, and you see how people respond to it. And I guess, yeah, that was like my first ever huge performance like that. But I think it's pretty much the same story as all of my performances here too.
Mhm. Mhm. And do you feel like that you were the only person who knew that you were nervous? Were you able to play through
Yeah.
the nerves?
A lot of people, they were like, "Oh, you didn't seem nervous." And I was like, my knees were shaking, bro. It was really crazy, but yeah.
No, I remember, what was it, the first time that I had a solo? It was in church. And
Oh.
I was singing this song. It's called We Fall Down by Donnie McClurkin.
Mhm.
And I was so nervous. I couldn't even finish the song. Like my choir director had to step in and sing the song for me. And years later, my mother didn't say it to me on the day of because I was so ashamed of myself. But she was like, "Honey, the song is called We Fall Down." She was like, "You fell down and you
Really
didn't
funny.
get back up." That was the line. "We fall down, but we get up." She was like,
Yeah.
"Baby, you fell down and you did not get back up." So I'm glad to hear you were able to push through the nerves, because the first time I ever sang, I was like, "Ah." And now you have next semester, right? Or as you're stepping into that next role, what is it? What is it?
The Investing and Trading Club.
The Investing and Trading Club. And you're a student, right? Like you have classes, you just took a final, right? How then do we, in 24 hours of the day, 7 days of the week, how do you structure and organize that?
I think there's two things that I do. So one thing is I celebrate every little win.
Okay.
I think that every little win, whether it's a grade, it's a position, it's just like having a really good day at school and feeling really good. I think each one of those things, no matter how big or small, deserves a celebration. And
Mhm.
because you celebrate those little moments, you enjoy the big ones even more.
Mhm.
And it allows you to continue moving through your journey despite even the flaws that might be a part of it, regardless, because you know that there is more good than bad with every single thing that you do.
Mhm.
And one thing that I've really taken away from like my experiences is that like when you are experiencing something,
Mhm.
maybe you do better, but there'll never be a moment where you will do worse. Another thing is just like I am a very organized person. I have a Google Calendar where I put like every single thing. Like it is unhealthy. I actually make my friends like put in like times they want to see me. I'm like, into the GCal, please. My friends understand that I'm just
Yeah.
a super busy person. It allows me to just like keep track of all the different things I'm doing. It's even color coded
Mhm.
to like the different clubs that I'm a part of, the different classes I'm in, down to like my friends, like they have their own color too.
Sometimes students feel like visiting their academic advisor is just about like selecting classes.
Mhm.
And so tell me from your vantage point, like outside of just like, okay, it's next semester, you took this class, you passed it, this is the next class. Like what outside of selecting classes, how can your academic advisor kind of benefit you?
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits. And how I kind of think of myself as an academic advisor, I think of myself as a bridge between the student and the campus. And what I mean by that is there's a lot that students may know of that happens here at the university or the resources that are here at their disposal, but maybe they don't know specifically where it is or how to find it. And so when students just limit, and even advisors, when we just limit the conversation to just course registration, what are you going to be taking from semester to semester, there's a missed opportunity for more connection to happen. And so some things that typically is quite normal to bring up to an advisor is, in addition to your academics, what are some of the challenges that's going on? Everyone comes here to get a degree, but no one does it. No one's path is always straight and narrow while doing that, meaning that there's challenges that happens, whether it's mental challenges, medical challenges, personal challenges. And so speaking to your advisor about that is helpful, because that advisor, being that bridge, can share with you, okay, if this is going on, this is a resource that you have on campus that can help you to work through that.
Like, how do you feel about doing something for yourself first and then letting the things come?
I think that's definitely a good idea. And I'm probably biased because that's what I did. But I just feel like there is no experience that will give you, like, well, not no experience, but like of the opportunities that you have on campus, if you take it, there's no harm in that, right? Like, unless you're stretching your time too thin, but you can learn something from everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you go for the things you're passionate about, one, it'll help you like not burn out. I feel like if you do things that you really like, it's like kind of like, I think of mock trial as like my time away from like all of like the stuff that I'm studying in school. And that's how like I stay energized in both things. Like, I know that when I'm working on school and things are difficult, I'll be like, oh, I have a competition this weekend, that'll be fun. And when I'm in competition, I'm nervous, I'll be like, well, at least I'm not taking a genetics exam. You know? So I feel like, one, you should always do things that like make you like happier, that make you feel more you.
Right.
And that will inevitably help you with like solidifying your presentation to others and like helping you out with your career, because you just feel more yourself.
Right.
Oftentimes we suggest utilizing course projects as a way to demonstrate some knowledge that you're doing things in the area. What I say to students, especially when it comes to grad school or even industry work, is being intentional and strategic with course projects, right? So if you're in a women and gender studies class and you're looking to go to grad school to study like feminist literature, I don't know, I'm just making this up. Maybe if you have a paper that you need to write for that particular class, pick something in the arena of which you want to study for graduate school. So then you could show that you've done the work in those courses before you even do it in internships and things like that. The other piece, especially here at UMBC, is that it can be challenging for students to get research experience working in labs and working with faculty here, right? There's no easy one-stop shop way. And so oftentimes students need to reach out sooner than they think they have to, right? I met with a student who emailed professors. They didn't have any openings, but they did have an opening a year later. And then she was able to get that experience. If she was a senior and doing that outreach, game over, it would be too late. So I think students should reach out to faculty that they feel that they could work with, they want to learn from, that aligns with their research interests sooner rather than later, so that hopefully they can get a spot and put that on their resume.
Take advantage of all the opportunities as you go through, like, go into the student orgs, open your eyes, do something different that you normally wouldn't do. Because like I said, we make each other better, and it'll also, I think, create more confidence. It would have, if I had to go back, it would have, I think, created more confidence in me to not be nervous about stepping into situations that were unfamiliar to me, particularly because, like I said, I didn't have anyone to talk to. I was a first generation student. I couldn't be like, Mom and Dad, what was,
Yeah.
And so I think that would be it, is to just not be nervous, because you will find your place at UMBC. It is always changing.
That's true.
So in years back, the same type of discussions were had, and the world will always move forward.
Yeah.
And so your decision is, you're moving forward, or are you just going to be thinking, are you going to be in the back?
Yeah.
And so we always want to be in that front seat and moving forward and being the best that we can move. It is a tough time right now. I will not deny it. I know and I feel for students who are also searching at this time. And I can say 100% that we are nonstop working on it to bring in more employer partners and things.
Does it matter if your skills are at the bottom of the document?
Well, the applicant tracking system is going to pick it up no matter what.
Okay.
But what is it doing?
Uh-huh.
The employer doesn't know where you gained experience in computer office programs, team player. Same thing with the other 2 resumes. Whatever's in the skills section needs to be embedded in the bullets in your experiences, in your projects. So, they really leaned heavily into the computer service, but if they want to go into problem solving, adaptability, Excel, make sure those skills are embedded in the bullets. Yeah. I think my second day here, we were doing the CNMS Career Connection Social, and I met with an employer, and he said, because he did a lot of recruiting volunteers, new hires, and he would say when he picks up a resume, I want to know why this person applied. What are they here for? Did they just send this resume out to 100 different places? If it doesn't jump off the page who they are, why they're even applying for this position, sometimes a summary or profile section can help because you get to explain yourself. What skills did you develop in your previous roles and how you want to leverage them, like you're mentioning. But yeah, if you give your resume to someone off the street, someone in the career center, and if it doesn't jump off the page who you are, maybe a summary section can help.
There's a lot of pressure now, as people want to buy homes. It's getting harder to buy a house. It's getting harder to start a family. It's getting more expensive to do that. People think of like, do I want to start a family at 30? My mom started hers at 24, right? Like I'm 22. Does that mean I have to have a kid in 2 years? No, it doesn't. I mean, like that, and that's like a kind of unfortunate reality of the situation. We're comparing ourselves to the prior generations when everything was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Sorry to anybody's offended by that, but it was a little bit easier. It was cheaper. It was, you didn't have all these pressures from the economy, but we do now. So I think it's hard to take gap years, but it's never not worth it. I think I always recommend it to people who can do it. Things like I learned all of the things that I think like completely accidentally, that, and I got really lucky that like a gap year probably should do for you, which is, understanding what you want to do, why you want to do it, and like learning a lot of different skills along the way.
Right.
So how did you like decide which grad school was for you? Because that's a big aspect.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So at the time, I don't know if this still exists, but at the time there was this actual database of graduate schools. And I don't remember if it was specific to neuroscience or whether you could pick a discipline.
Okay.
I have very vague memories of this, but not very helpful. And so I remember sort of going through that database to try to see what was available. Because the other thing to know is where I went to college didn't have a graduate program. It was pretty a small, like, liberal arts business school. And so I was going through that. I knew that I wanted to be part of a neuroscience program. I was drawn to neuroscience very early on, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so I applied to various neuroscience programs, and I got some help from my research advisor. I actually applied to the program where he got his PhD from. I say that all to say that I actually did not go to a neuroscience program, and the program that I went to was not one I planned on applying to.
Okay.
I had gone to a conference to present some of the work that I had been doing in my undergraduate lab.
Yeah.
And I met the person who would actually become my PhD advisor at that conference. And when I talked to him, he was like, you should apply to the program that I'm based in, which was actually a biology program. So had I not met him, I never would have entertained the idea of applying there.
Yeah.
And also because of the school, I would not have entertained applying there because I wouldn't have thought I was going to get in.
What school was it?
Hopkins.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
So I was like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll apply to Hopkins. Right.
That though I have not experienced everything that life has to offer, I do know that there have been times where the job market is tight.
Yeah.
And there are things that you can do.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of times folks, when it's like, okay, I'm applying for 10 jobs a day for 6 months, they then go back and get another degree. Right? And through that grad school experience, then the job market may stabilize.
Exactly.
Or they position themselves in such a way that they are more competitive than they would have been with just a bachelor's degree.
Right.
Right. So I think that that's one of the things, right? Like if we're talking about, if we want to give folks hope, because we don't want them to like lose hope. We don't want you to lose hope.
Exactly.
Right. What are the things that we can do? And I think going back to school is one of the things.
Going back to school is always an option. I was talking like that professor I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Part of that conversation was her being like, hey, I know it seems scary. I know things are like a little terrifying, but we're gonna be okay. Like everyone's gonna be fine. I know like a lot of places aren't hiring right now, but like go back to school, maybe like try and work like a local convenience job. You will end up using your degree. And if you don't end up using your degree, it's not the end of the world, because like I mean, a political science degree is something you can use every day if you read the news.
For sure. And especially like if you go to law school, right?
Yeah.
Being an attorney, or an attorney is someone who has passed the bar. Being a lawyer is when you get your JD,
Yes.
right? And I mean, analyzing, being analytical, being strategic, being able to read.
It's
and
training you
write
how to
well.
critically think. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's a skill that's required by, I think critical thinking is going to become some of the most like, and obviously who am I, right? But like, I'm just like some kid saying this, but like my prediction is that like, if I could make one, like a magic ball prediction, is that critical thinking skills are going to become extremely in demand.
Okay.
Especially with like AI like coming up.
I knew that's where it was going.
Like if like we need critical thinkers to analyze what like the AI is telling us, right? Like we need people
ethical.
Exactly.
Ethical
We need people who
ones.
are ethical. We
Yeah.
need people who are like willing to think deeply about things.
Okay.
We need people who are like thinkers.
What do you think is the most low-key or unrecognized skill that's super impactful to bring to a hackathon?
Probably the communication.
Really?
Yes, because you're working in teams for 24 hours and you have to work together on the project. If you can't communicate, if you can't tell your teammate like, okay, I'm taking care of this, or like, you know, I can't really take care of this right now. Like,
Right.
you have such a limited time frame to get this project done that like if you miscommunicate, or, you know, you just aren't connecting well with your teammates, it's not really going to get done. And then also you have to, the most important thing is like, okay, I can make a project that's, you know, very technically like in depth, like it's a very complex project, it's like very well made, but if I can't communicate what that project's impact is, what that project is trying to do, like why is, you know, this project a winner? Like why is this project like important? Like what impact does it have? If I can't communicate that, I'm not getting through to the judges, and you know, I'm not winning. So like that's the second part, is like, you know, like if you can't communicate like why, you know, this matters, like why is this project deserving of being a winner of the hackathon, then you know, I don't think you're gonna really find yourself in a place of like the winner's shoes. So I think communication is, I think a lot of people tend to focus on like the technical skills aspect of it, which is why I didn't really go with that answer. I think that's very like high key aspect of it, is
being
like
able to code in different languages.
Yeah. But I think now with like, you know, it's just like the purpose of the hackathon is to learn new skills and to learn new technical skills and to learn something and to try out like a language that you've never coded in before. So I do think communication is probably one of the most, maybe if not the most important thing to bring to the hackathon.
Just definitely really dig deep into what makes you a good student.
Okay.
I think
you like send your resume ahead of time, like send your resume.
No, that's your I think everyone needs to understand, like, everyone's gonna probably be a good student.
Okay.
What are you doing outside of being a student? I think that's a thing that matters. I think a lot of people don't really take into account that, like, you know, you have that 4.0, you can have really good students, you can get all the good grades, but are you contributing to your community in any?
Okay.
What are you doing outside of that? Are you doing sports? Are you doing clubs?
Right.
You know, I think being more of a well-rounded person is way more important, because I've seen students with lower GPAs get in.
Yeah.
Follow us at UMBC Careers on Instagram, and then also make sure to hit the subscribe button down there. Also hit the like button and comment any questions. We'll be sure to answer them. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Peace. That has to be good.